Happens today in Wisconsin and all these primary days mostly is you're going to the polling place and you're going to cast a vote, and then within each district, in Wisconsin at least, each district gets 3 delegates, and whichever of the candidates wins the most within that district, 3 delegates are assigned to that candidate. So then you go to the convention and all the delegates from all the different places come together, and each of those delegates, at least on the first ballot, casts a vote for his or her candidate. And if nobody has half of them plus one, in the Republicans' case, 1,237 delegate votes, then we revote. But the rules change, and we'll see what the rules are. But in that second round, a lot of the delegates can vote for whomever they want. So you can change, like if you were voting for Trump as a delegate, you could change, you could vote for Cruz. That's perfectly legal under many circumstances. It's within the rules. You see, the Federal Elections Commission does not have sway over this. Each party has its own rules, and within the Republican Party, it is also okay, if you want to try to court these delegates. After the first round, you do what the voter said, but then after that, you can do whatever you want. And I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today, and I will appreciate it if you would vote for me. I'll give you a ride there. Maybe I'll give you some walk-around money. What else can I give you if I'm a candidate and I want your vote on that second round in Cleveland at the convention? Judge Andrew Napolitano is here. Turns out a little bribery may be perfectly legal.
Yes. Now, even though this looks like an election and feels like an election, and you're using the same voting booth that you use for a real November election,
not the same thing.
It's not an election.
Nope.
We'll just talk about the Republicans for now. The Republican Party in Wisconsin has rented the venue where the voting takes place. It has rented the voting machine, but it is not a governmental act. It's not putting anybody into governmental power. It's just choosing human beings who will go to a private gathering, even though we'll all be there and we'll all see it on television cameras. It's a private gathering, the Republican National Convention, and those human beings, under their own unique rules, will decide who they want to nominate for president. Stated differently, the laws that regulate elections, November elections, when we choose candidates who will occupy a governmental office, state or federal, are not the same rules that regulate these primary elections.
It's always been like that.
Correct, where a lot more freewheeling behavior can go on. So the word bribe is one that nobody wants to talk about. But if you give someone a favor in order for them to do what you want, only if what you want them to do involves the exercise of government power is it a bribe, and that's a crime. But where the government is not involved, can you give somebody a gift, like you said, walking around money, a ride to the polls, dinner at the convention, a party at the convention, a promise of, yeah, we know you need this in Wisconsin and we'll look very favorably upon it.
You need a park.
We'll get you that park once we get elected.
Just come vote for me in that second round.
All those types of promises are not only lawful, they are standard operating procedure in the second round, if there is one.
And to do all of that, you have to be prepared well in advance. You have to have gotten people to go do this, we won't call it bribing, this favor giving, this promise making. So you have to have people on the ground in all these districts and all these places to say, yeah, you're a delegate, now I want you, now I want you. Ted Cruz has a lot of those people.
He does. It's not known how many of those people
but he has a lot.
Donald Trump has.
Not as many.
Correct. The candidates themselves are not going to do this. People are going to do it in their behalf. And what's the remedy? The remedy is not legal. You promised me something and I gave you my vote and I didn't get your promise. The remedy is political. I will tell the world what you promised and how you didn't follow in on it. I will tell the world or your opposition what you promised me for my vote. Because there's so much give and sway when you're talking about persuading private individuals to do things in a private organization.
Could I get a car? Could they give me a car?
Probably.
And if not, why not?
Well, they probably could, but the ramifications...
Could they give me a house?
The ramifications of that would be so extraordinary.
Like what?
The other side would find out about it.
Oh, you mean just sort of the yakety-yak ramifications, not the legal ones.
Correct. Did you see what my opponent is giving people to get them to vote for him? And that collapses. But you're not talking about a prosecutor going after anybody. You're talking about the opposition saying, this is what he's doing in order to win.
That's how the deals are getting done.
That's how the deals are getting done.
The part of this we don't see.
And quite frankly, even though we will be there and cameras will be all over the place, if there is a second ballot and thereafter, we probably won't know about this stuff. Won't know about this stuff.
We'll learn a lot from the ballot.
Yes.
And then we'll learn more after that.
Right.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.